up guys, my name is Driftwood, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another controller review. This seems like an interesting video to do right now, but like my first video was like, or like the oldest video that's still on my channel was like, I reviewed the GameCube controller. See if I can find it just to have it. Oh, it's somewhere else, okay, whatever. But I did a review of the GameCube controller because it's widely considered to be one of the best controllers out there by like everyone. But it does have one competitor, which I'll be reviewing this video, and that is the Xbox 360 controller. Another contender for one of the best controllers ever made. Alright, so I moved out of my room so we can have some better lighting. But here we are with the controller itself. So we're just gonna go over like basically the build quality, the button feel, like everything like that, just like the last one. So people say this is the best controller for like 3D games, and I would agree for the most part, and it's even like widespread in like the PC community, and it's just the go-to controller to use for PC games if you want to play one with a controller, or if it requires a controller. But yeah, build quality though, nothing happens if I try to flex it. It's just extremely strong, it's heavy. It is actually one of the heaviest controllers out there. It's got these big grips that go around your hands perfectly. It doesn't have the cool triggers that the GameCube one does, but it's still really good for like shooters and stuff. They're super accurate. And the buttons, all that are like clicky enough. I guess there's no batteries in this one. Hang on. Oh, there are. Okay. It's just not turning on. Dead batteries. That is one downside though. It is wireless, which the GameCube one doesn't have unless you get the Wavebird one, but it takes physical batteries, and while it does last a really, really long time, this is still a problem because you still gotta go and change the batteries every so often. So like overall build quality and stuff, I would say it's actually probably better than the GameCube controller. It is wireless, that is a bonus point for this, but it still takes AA batteries, which makes it not as good as it could be. I mean, you can get a rechargeable pack if you want to, but I don't happen to have one since the batteries actually do last quite a long time. So the buttons here, I would say they're a more standard layout than the GameCube. Even though the GameCube one, once you get used to it, it could be better. This one with its more standard layout works better for more games. But the buttons themselves, while still being responsive, don't feel nearly as good as Nintendo's buttons because Nintendo's had more time to develop something like that. These thumbsticks, not as grippy as the GameCube ones, but they are like concave, so that does give them an advantage. They don't have that hexagon thing. So while some games on the GameCube were better with the hexagon, most of them would feel better if it were like this. And also, both sticks are exactly the same. There's no smaller one like the C stick for the GameCube. But one of the major downfalls is the D-pad on this thing, because it's super inaccurate and it like moves. You press one direction, you don't know if you're gonna press that one or a different one. I mean, it could feel nice to use, but like it's so non-accurate that it fails to work good as a D-pad for like 2D games, for example. And the D-pad on the GameCube controller was better, but most people complained about it being smaller. So that is a downside for both of these controllers, but I think this one is far more of a downside because it's not as accurate as the GameCube one. Let me actually go find my GameCube controller so we can try to have a direct comparison. Since this video is already sort of becoming a comparison, might as well bring out what I have been comparing this thing to. And I just grabbed this thing and immediately I do like how it feels in the hands overall, the grip, more than this, mostly because of these triggers, because they have these little wells for your fingers to go. And they're a lot better triggers because they have that extra functionality of clicking. While these I would think are a little bit more accurate just because they have a little bit more resistance. So when you pull on them, you can be a little more accurate. And the buttons are great on this one. I said these were inferior to these buttons, but they're a little quicker. I tend to prefer clicky a little bit over just non-clicky. These travel less, so you can mash them more than that, but these are clickier at the same time, so I kind of enjoy these more. And yeah, the sticks on this are pretty much better for most games than these, because these don't have that like concave portion right here, and the C stick is different from the other one, which makes this better. And it has this, so for some games this does actually feel better. But like I said, the D-pad is a lot better on the GameCube one, minus being a little small. It's way more accurate than this thing, but this one actually does have more buttons, which makes it more useful for games now, obviously, because it is 4 years newer than this. And this one only has one like shoulder button right here, only one start pause button instead of start back Xbox button for this. That's obviously because the Xbox has a home menu and the GameCube doesn't. Another downside of this is the wire, but I personally don't find it all too bad since it is long enough. But overall, I tend to prefer the GameCube controller, but if you want to use one of these to play games now, besides Smash Bros. For this, people still keep buying them, this will do better for most everything. Alright, that'll be it for this video. So overall, I do tend to prefer the GameCube controller, just because I can do this mostly, but it just kind of feels nicer and works better with my hands and stuff, and I can get used to it pretty fast. But for most people, I would say this is the better controller, simply because it's pretty much the most standard controller out there, and that might be great for some people. But obviously there are still a lot of people that like this. Just look at the Smash Bros. Community as an example. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. Make sure to whack that like button and whack that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.